With the first episode taken care of, may as well ride the tailwind and take care of the second one, huh? To circle back to that episode, if you did watch it, you're probably still wondering what
that churlish chimney chaser is not to be trusted
that was all about. Based on the amount of venom Scrooge puts on his name, you have to imagine he has some kind of personal vendetta against Santa. The episode begins on the night of Christmas Eve, and as you can see, the boy's mother Della is back. Yeah, she got back from the moon 6 episodes after the last Christmas episode. The reunion did not go perfectly.
Sup, party people? I'm back in the his Oh, no. Knew it was wrong as soon as I said it.
Especially because since he still thought she was up there, Donald got his hands on a rocket to try and save her. There was also a whole invasion from the moon, and things got a little goofy, but we don't have time to get into all that. Anyway, while Donald is decorating, Della is reciting for the boys 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. The trouble is, it's a version wherein she describes all the traps Uncle Scrooge lays for Santa. In the process, Louis figures out that since they haven't been told why, Della doesn't know why Scrooge hates Santa either. Before Della can refute the accusation, the boys hear a sound coming from the ceiling. Thinking it's Santa, the boys rush up to the roof, revealing that it was Scrooge and, to a very different extent, Webby. Dewey tries to ask what the deal with Santa is, and all Scrooge is willing to offer is the fact that as the richest duck in the world, he and his family don't need free handouts from some fat guy in red, giving the boys and Webby a practical gift of hats made from traditional Scottish fabric. 60% wool, 30% thistle, 10% emotional constipation. Following that, somebody rings the manor doorbell. Scrooge and the kids go downstairs to see who's bothering them at this hour, and Scrooge opens the door to reveal Santa. One Yuletide theme song variation later, it's revealed Santa has a busted leg, and as Santa quickly endears himself to the boys with their gifts, Scrooge finally reveals what the hell his issue with Santa Claus is. Santa stole Christmas from Scrooge.
That's right. His whole racket was my idea, but this glory hound kept it all for himself!
Santa isn't really in the mood to hash this out right now, given the reason he's at McDuck Manor is that with a busted leg, he needs Scrooge's help to deliver gifts. And to get him to help, Santa offers Scrooge the one thing he knows Scrooge wants.
If you help me, I promise to never come around here ever again.
As Scrooge leaves with the sack, he casually mentions that he and Santa have worked together before. To explain, Santa tells the kids the story of how he and Scrooge first met when Scrooge was trying to sell coal door to door. Unfortunately, at this point, he was still employing a very confrontational style of marketing.
Buy some coal, you blackguard! I got it! You need it!
He ran into Santa while Santa was doing something similar, except with gifts and for free. Getting them both into the cabin, Santa gets the inhabitants to buy Scrooge's coal, though he also tells them Scrooge can deliver coal around the world by Christmas morning. At that moment, Scrooge and Santa became friends and business partners. Back to the present, Scrooge adamantly refuses to let any of the boys go with him, and Santa, assuming that they'll be too easily led astray by Santa's charisma, taking Webby instead. Making their way through Duckburg, delivering gifts to some of their friends, eventually going international, Webby notices that they're repeating places they've already been to. Santa explains that he delivers alphabetically, subtly revealing Scrooge was the brains behind their operation.
Why don't you do it by country?
Oh, that would be more practical.
The reason this wasn't an issue up till now was because of that shiny bauble that had been hanging in front of Santa's sleigh since he arrived. It's called the Feliz Navi Diamond, and it has the same ability as an office meeting, to slow down time, in this case for one night a year. It was actually the first item he and Scrooge acquired to help in their initial coal delivery business, revealing that outside the cave where they found the diamond is where Santa found the flying reindeer, calming them with the help of some jingle bells.
Jingle bells?
Jingle all the way!
Continuing their journey in Duckburg, stopping by the houses of their friends and co-workers, they end up having to deliver a gift to Bouncer, one of the Beagle Boys, who unfortunately was under the impression that the rest of his family was also getting gifts, waking them all up, forcing Santa to have to save them. While chuckling about Santa finally repaying the favor for the time Scrooge saved him, we return to their mission for the Flea's Navi Diamond in the past, explaining that Scrooge had to save him from the diamond's guardian, a massive snowman, after Santa tried to kill it with kindness. Taking possession of the diamond and ending the flashback, something weird has happened. In contrast to earlier that night, Santa and Scrooge are acting like friends, joking around, laughing themselves silly. To cap off the night, while Scrooge delivers the last gift, Webby asks Santa, very plain and simple, what his deal is. And he answers that the simple fact is he doesn't have one. He just likes giving. To him, giving people presents makes him feel warm-hearted, and he likes spreading that feeling around, hoping the people who get his gifts get that same feeling. So, with that answered, Webby asks Santa another question.
What happened?
The worst Christmas of my life.
Going back into the past for the final time in this episode, in the lead-up to their delivery of Scrooge's coal, Santa proposes that they deliver it on the night of Christmas Eve. And the reason why he wants to do it that way is because he was sort of hoping that Scrooge would give the coal away for free. During their subsequent argument, it's revealed that Scrooge doesn't believe in Santa's warm heart thing, and he thinks giving things away for free is a terrible business plan. To be fair, since Scrooge is trying to turn a profit to fund the business in the first place, it's not an unfair point. This schism does cause Scrooge to give Santa an ultimatum, though. It's either me or your free stuff on Christmas idea, and you can guess what he picked. After Scrooge leaves, it's revealed that the lodge of short people they've been hanging out in belongs to the people who will become Santa's elves. Back to the present, Santa explains that the last gift in the sack after the one Scrooge is delivering is for him, and he was hoping to give it to Scrooge to possibly make amends, only for Webby to open the sack to get it and realize that it's still full of presents, revealing that Scrooge, instead of their gifts, has been delivering coal to everybody, Santa busting down the door of the house to wring Scrooge's neck. The thing is, though, he and Webby actually caught Scrooge mid-epiphany. After accidentally waking her up, Scrooge sees his little girl Jennifer playing with the coal instead of using it in the fireplace, and he realizes that in contrast to his formative years of poverty, just because something isn't practical doesn't mean it can't warm you up inside. Though, that being said, while Webby yells at him, Scrooge notices something else.
What about him and his broken leg? He's a liar!
Revealing that Santa's leg was never broken. He was faking an injury, convinced that if he could get Scrooge to go with him, he would understand what Santa has been trying to say, and also, the more obvious,
Santa Claus was willing to risk Christmas.
Because he wanted to spend it with me.
With morning coming fast and an entire stack of gifts that need to be delivered, Scrooge proposes a practical solution to their problem: divide and conquer. Enlisting the entire Duck family, including Mrs. Beakley and Launchpad, while in the sky, Santa gives Scrooge his gift, a set of jingle bells with their names on it. And as it turns out, Scrooge has a little something for Santa too.
Hit the button. The traps are off. You're welcome at my home anytime. Just don't come down the chimney like some creep.
The episode ends as the morning comes to Duckburg.
Ho, ho! Woohoo!